nothing can quite prepare you for what you greet coming into the pyramids. So absolute carnage. But once you get through those gates and into the area, it becomes so much funner. It's just so crazy trying to get in here. So you would think with a tourist attraction like this, it's been visited since the Roman times, you would imagine that they'd have a whole system locked down where big signage, you know, corralling people into the right area, but there's just hardly any signage to get in. But in saying that, once you do find the ticket office, which is actually not where the big lines are getting in, it's actually tucked around the side with a tiny sign on it. Once you do get your ticket and you come in, it's actually fine. And to be honest, someone out the front who was, I assume, a guide, and you're expecting everyone's asking you for money. The gentleman had the badge on, and he said, "You got a ticket?" He took me right through, got me through security. Didn't have any issues with my GoPro handle, which I'd put in my cargo trousers, kept it separate from the camera. Walked through the metal detector. Obviously this one's plastic, so it didn't make any issues for me. And straight through, and then took me in. He told me how much the camel rides were, etc, etc. I tried offering him a tip of 100 Egyptian pounds, and he didn't, just blatantly refused to take it. Said no thank you, I'm his guest, and that was that. It blew me away that that's all that he was actually after, and just to help me kind of thing. So I've come on a Friday. I think it's one of their religious days, but yeah, I genuinely appreciated that. And the signs as you come in saying how much the horse and carriage rides are, says 500 Egyptian pounds, signposted by the government, which is quite handy. But I chose not to do that, not because I didn't want to spend the money more, just I wanted to walk and take it all in. But it's I've seen so much about the security coming in here and expected that I'd have to be handing over cash to bring the handle, but yeah, there was none of that. It was just straight through. Once you get your ticket, it is a breeze, and I'm here at, I'd say, peak time. It's about 11 AM and no issues, and here I am. It is like scenes out of a Hollywood movie where you're walking along and there's camels, there's horses, there's just dust everywhere, and it is like going back in time, literally. So, but it looks like there's so many individual pyramids here. And then more, and then more. So I didn't realize there was so many pyramids all in one spot. Definitely didn't know that. But the tomb should be down here. So it's good to be away from the crowds, really. There's the big main ones, there's heaps and heaps of people, but for just a quieter stroll, there's so much to keep yourself entertained before going and doing the big ones. So this is on the Cairo side of town. Right, so that was fantastic. So one of the benefits in going into one of the smaller pyramids is that there's no one else there for starters, and then the person in there, as I was the only one in there, although I couldn't film in there, I'll show you some pictures of what was in there, but to have a guide explaining it all to you and telling you all about it is great, because there was no one else there. So, you know, gave him a small tip, 200, but it's yeah, it's fine. It's you know, just good to be able to absorb some of it. So I wouldn't say he was a guide, he's one of the official guys that kind of lets you in, but yeah, very polite, lovely, great help. Let me take photos in there. And yeah, it was spectacular. So as you can see by the pictures there, so it goes quite deep into the ground. The mummy's obviously been taken to the museum. It would have been one of the museum exhibits that I saw on my travels yesterday. But fantastic. Now for the big ones. So it seems from the other side of the pyramid, from where you actually come in, is where all the big tourist buses all pull in. So this is the exact opposite side to which you come in normally. This looks like it's got a bookstore there. Many camels all lined up ready to go. So I'm actually only now walking around the first of the Great Pyramid, Khufu Pyramid here. But so far, no one really hassling me as much as I thought. Not as bad as they say. So this is where you go into it. It's where you go into the Great Pyramid. Wow, would you look at the size of those stones that would actually support the weight of that entrance. I take it they were the biggest, most mysterious ones, because there is no way that people would be lifting those up into position. So how they've done that yet? Okay, I don't have a clue. See, there are some bits where I'm like, okay, I could imagine enough horsepower, you could do that, and enough manpower. But those ones up there, I don't think so. Not to that height. Wow, eh? So if needed and you were in trouble, you got the tourist police behind to be there. The tourist police, if someone was giving you a hard time, which like I said, I haven't really had so far, but if they were, then you could always say, I'm going to the tourist police, and they will chill out a bit and leave you alone. The horse carriage rides, 500, not a bad deal. I think I'll be doing one back, so I'm going to walk to the furthest point, and then I'll probably catch one back. Someone official coming down here. The whole motorcade of official looking vehicles, really. Someone important, but look at that. Man, I love this place. We've wanted to come here for so many years and found an opportunity to. If you are thinking of coming or considering it, it's not a bad option. You don't have to do it the way I did it, which was getting Uber here, which was very cheap from downtown Cairo. You could get a private vehicle, something a bit posher, or do an organised tour. But it was just as easy to do it as a Uber or a local taxi. Ultimately it gets you here whichever way you choose. I've always seen the pictures and thought that you'd be able to climb the pyramids if they let you. But I tell you what, when you stand next to it, there is no way I'd be climbing those, even if it was completely allowed. It's so steep, and if you see at the top there, that limestone cap, it just seems to be hanging there, and it looks like it could just crumble and fall at any moment. It's quite full on how it's just hanging there off the top. This is the tallest man-made structure up until the 1800s. 146 meters tall is the Khufu one. This is Khufu, the second biggest. And it's just phenomenal how steep it is. It's actually interesting. The sides aren't actually dead flat. They're actually concave a little bit. You can't really see it from the naked eye, or only just. But all of the rocks are kind of rounded off a little bit so that you just would not be brave enough to climb that unless you were a very, very confident climber. Here. Over here is where all the lights are. So at night they shine some lights on to the pyramid, and it's all lit up, so all coloured lights there. It's actually still being excavated to this day. Still people working on it and digging out little bits and pieces. They reckon it was all built within 100 years, all of the three main pyramids, which is impossible, I guess, but it still also makes you question how accurate that could be, because it was just literally so long ago. Maybe their measurements of years were different, or their interpretation of years, and then just desert. So this spot right up here, very far away, is where you go for the panoramic views. So I think a lot of these carts and rides and stuff, they'll take you right around up to that area, and that's where you can get the perfect shot of all the pyramids. Might head up there. It's just I don't really have a camera for zooming in or capturing it, because I chose not to bring an SLR or a big camera on this trip, mainly because of the hassle that it presents by bringing these bigger cameras and microphones. They're still very strict on bringing in microphones, and they're a bit paranoid about the big cameras, but I think you can pay extra and bring them in. But like I said, I had no problem coming through. One of the guys brought me through and they scanned my bag, but to be honest, I don't even think anyone was looking at the scanner when it went through. And the guy, like I said, didn't charge anything, just straight through, so absolutely no problem. What I might do is, if I see someone with one of the bigger cameras, I might actually ask them, did they pay to come in, or did they just come through? I think there's some benefit to coming in the busy period. A lot of people say get here when it opens, which in winter time, which it is now, is 8 AM. But I think the thing with coming in at 8 AM, start of the day, not many people, they're going to be a lot more thorough, but once it gets to 10, 11 o'clock, it's absolute bedlam down there. So with school groups and everything coming through, so you kind of go with all the rush, and they just don't have time to literally, I guess, scan everyone properly. So that's my take on it. It's worth a punt anyway, so it depends what you're after. I mean, you will get spectacular views being the first ones in here, I won't lie. It would make for some great photos if that's what you're after. But I've got no regrets for coming in at the busy time, because I got through no problem at all. So it's worth adding that there's more to see than just the pyramids. So beside it there's all these big structures, and in there was a tent where they're excavating at the moment. So because they're excavating, they asked for no cameras or whatever in that area, which was fine. And so yeah, so I got a lovely few photos then. So the police officer that said not to film earlier followed me into this tomb area and offered to take some photos of me, so I let him do so. And small tip, £60, no problem at all. That's a pound, so $2 Australian for some photos. I must say, once you're in here, nothing really costs money, so you may as well actually enjoy the experience, dish out a few tips if need be, and enjoy the experience, because you're not going to come back here at the end of the day. Look at that. I'm actually thinking of crossing that desert there. I've got a bottle of water in my backpack. Pretty sure I'd be able to buy a bottle of water at the top, so I've probably got enough in me to do it. It's got to be 800 meters, a kilometer, so it can't be too bad, up and down dunes, but I'm sure I'll survive. And just on the edge here, down here, appears to be what would be some type of cemetery. I guess definitely a far more modern century, potentially current century, but I doubt it's current. Looks very densely packed in. But it's unbelievable that the outside of this one, which is the smaller of the three pyramids, it actually looks like it was, the outer layer was actually granite, like a smooth quartzy granite, which is quite robust material, whereas the other ones, the other big two, seem like limestone. So they're all a little bit different. Let's go for the adventure. Let's walk down through here. This is either the funnest or the stupidest thing that I could do right now. What's the worst that can happen? Someone will come on a camel and try and rescue and give him some money, ride the camel back. Can't be too bad. Guys, I've just been sitting in this lovely spot here on the edge, looking down there, and what I've realized is there's so much more than just the pyramids. So I don't think that you're coming in and seeing just 3 big pyramids. You get access to the whole area, and it is spectacular. I mean, sitting here, there's no one about. I haven't seen a single person in the half hour or so I've been sitting here drinking some water, and not seen a single person in this area. And look, there's great, I mean, down there is some, I don't know if they're tombs or what they are, but they're tunnels into the limestone that I don't know if they're older than the pyramids or newer, but take some time to explore, and just don't just sort of hang around the pyramids if you are looking for something more to spice up the adventure. As I did say, I was going to walk over there, and I still am. So I've had a rest. Now it's time to get right over to the other side. Let's do it. I've got to climb down first, which hopefully, is over here. But you will notice that there's lots of rubbish around. The rubbish is there because we are so close to Cairo, so there's nothing really that they can do about it. The rubbish picks up in the wind and then just blows in here. There's people that are going around picking it all up, doing a fantastic job, but it's not their fault. They can't help it that the winds are strong here and it all just blows in. You know what? Let's go have a look at what's in those holes where it's all grated off. Let's see if we can see inside. So this one here actually still has hieroglyphs on it. No way. You can actually climb in here. Look at those hieroglyphs. No way. Solid granite. So it's definitely a tomb for someone. So a lot of the official advisors and priests and people high up in the establishment got their own tombs that were very close to where the king is buried. So you've got the either a fox or a jackal there. I'm not going to pretend to know how to decipher these things, but I'm pretty sure when there's a ring like this, it's something to do with the king. There's some type of offering being given, someone leaning over offering someone something, which would be offerings for, I guess, the person who is buried in that tomb. But it's phenomenal that no one's here. So I'm not far from the smaller of the three big pyramids. Some type of railway lines. So look like the ones that a film crew would use, but just laying there, so maybe they were the ones used to cut things out. Look at this. Hieroglyphs galore there. Unfortunately full of rubbish that either has blown in there or somehow ended up in there. Wow, why have I never seen this on any of the vlogs that I looked at before I come here? like I said, still no one to be found. Hieroglyphs galore up on there. So this here is a pretend door that they built onto these. So they were fully enclosed in, and they built those dummy doors. And the dummy doors were there to allow the spirit to, or the pharaoh or the person who's deceased to actually exit the tomb to go to the afterlife. So they've all got a dummy one of those on there. Knowing what people are like, I'm surprised there's not more graffiti and stuff in some of these, because there's no one anywhere. It's brilliant that there's not. Tripped over a bit of rubbish here. You can see the construction of this wall, basically stone and mud by the look of it. Sorry guys, I'm just enjoying this experience of exploring this section. Well, what a fantastic little find. And who would have ever thought it was here? Okay, this is hard work. I'll catch up with you in a bit when I get to the middle of that desert bit. Peace out. Check this stampede out. Was that fun? Hey boy, hey boy, hey beautiful. You play biting? Hey, you playing fun? Good boy. was doing that voice you do. That's enough, boy. No, no, no. Come on. No, no. Yeah, away. No, 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 no. Stay. So I'm making a mixed, I've got a mixed grill here at the Pyramid Lounge, and it comes with the free bread, the complimentary bread, and I'm just making it into effectively like a kebab. Seems to be what they do a lot here, and it's my second one now, I must say. Fantastic, and just what you need after walking through that desert. You get right to the top here, and it was a dream to see this place. And I could have just gone straight back down, but I thought, why not be up here, sit down for a meal and enjoy it. Not too expensive either. I guess it would be about 20 British pounds all in, $40 for mixed grill, chips, rice, bread and a beer. Can't go wrong. Even though it'd be more expensive than local food out and about, when you're at a place like this, it's worth every penny. You can even see the pyramids from here. Beautiful. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to catch up with you in a bit. Well, the sun's setting. I've been here most of the day. I think it's time to get a camel. See if he can take me back to the pyramids. I think it's quite late in the day. I might have trouble getting a camera. Getting a camel. So I'm gonna try and get one down here. The silhouette of the horses and carriages on the hill is something spectacular, I tell you. You got the policeman on the camel here telling everyone it's 4 o'clock, time to go. You know what, if I can't get a camel, it's not the end of the world. I've been on a camel a few times in the Sahara Desert for hours on end, and you get over the experience pretty quickly. But it's always memorable at the same time. So I think all the camels are being herded up now, put into camel trains and taken back to the entrance. So probably isn't the best spot to try and get a camel ride back. But it's all good. Uh, 300, you take me to the bottom? So it's 300, the young gentleman's invited me onto the camel. One leg in there.
Yes, in the back.
In the back, hold on here.
امشي يا رجاله. لا مش عايزه حد يساعدني.
تنزل ابو الهول. طب بص على Hey, wanna go the sphinx?
Right to the bottom, yeah.
يا هي.
Okay, yeah.
خش.
يا عم امشي تعالى. تمام. يا مصطفى
Well, I'm now on the camel. You do forget how high these things are. Sphinx, yes please.
It's Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata, that's right. Well, it's not every day you get to do this.
Welcome.
Not every day. Thank you. Alaikum salam.
Yes, here when it goes Sphinx, no, hey, come on.
Camel, yeah.
Hey, welcome.
Shukran.
Hakuna
Hakuna
Matata.
Matata. What a day, what an adventure. It's definitely been a fun experience, and some of the negative stories you see about getting in, and none of it's true in my experience. I've had nothing but an easygoing day all around, no hassle, and it's just all gone smoothly. Get to explore, go anywhere you want, see anything, and yeah, no restrictions, just a good time all round. Feels like it'd be a bit more safer with one other foot pedal down here, foot holster, but everyone seems to have the free foot, so must just be the thing with the camels. So I've joined the Royal Camel Train by the look of it. Just me and the locals. What's your name, my friend?
Ada.
Adam. Thank you very much for this experience. Shukran. Taking me on a trip with the local
Hey,
camel guys.
Wanna go Sphinx and take photos?
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you. It's going to take me to the Sphinx,
Wanna go Sphinx?
which is on the exit,
Photo.
and take some photos. Can't say no to that. Over here is the cemetery thing I was talking about earlier. So we agreed 300, but you're a good driver, so I'll give you a 4.
That's for
4. That's a tip for you. Thank you, my friend. You're good more. Okay, I'll give you one more. Yeah.
200.
No, one more. One more. That's good. 500. Good boy. Thank you, young man. Look at that view. That's why we do it. That's why we travel.
جنبي انا ايه 3 ب10 اهو ايه 3 ب10 ايه 10.
So when you come out, it's back to the bedlam, but it's tame inside. But that's what makes it fun. It's what brings a place to life. So we're out doing quad biking here in Cairo. You got the pyramids in the background here. So I've chosen to go on a quad cycle ride. The cost of that is about 25 American dollars. But they take you out here, there's dunes everywhere, and I thought I was half decent at riding these quad cycles, but when he's on the front controlling it, you got your own guide basically. And the speed in which we went over these dunes is phenomenal, and he's hanging on the front of it, which is quite crazy, but it's so much fun. It's an hour out in here in the desert, away from all the people, and just having a bit of fun. So if you get the opportunity or you fancy it, that'd be worth checking out here in Cairo. I've definitely think it's something high on the list, and yeah, it had come recommended by me. But there's plenty of other opportunities for action adventures out here. I've seen people parasailing, where they got the motor on the back of the parachute, flying over the pyramids. I've seen people parachuting over the top of the pyramids. I've seen it all. So there's plenty of options for something to do a little bit different here in Cairo.